Well, hello there. I have broken camp and I'm hitting the trail. It's just about 9 o'clock, so a little bit later start than I will probably get on the subsequent days, but given my late arrival into camp last night, I had a little bit more housekeeping type arrangements to deal with this morning, and just wanted to give myself a good start for my first full day of hiking. Probably going to be the shortest of my full days, given the location of the campsite I'm targeting, but still going to be a full one, probably about 12 miles. So gonna see what the trail holds for us today, and we will catch in as we go. Well, the day has turned a bit foul, as you can see from me having the umbrella out. The downpour has begun, even through the canopy. It's getting quite wet out here. So I'm still progressing along well. Trail's still holding up, hasn't gotten saturated or socked in yet. So continuing on past the peak of the first ascent. Basically the first 2 miles out of camp were a steady climb up, so glad to be past that and on a little bit more or less strenuous trail now, so I can make up some time. Pace on the first stretch there was a little slow, but still have good spirits despite the dampness, and you know, hoping to avoid some of the more severe stuff that seems to be around. I've heard quite a bit of thunder and lightning, and hoping that stays well distant from me. But carrying on for now, and we'll try and film more if things clear up a little bit. Well, I've got a little bit of break in the rain, and came to a little side spot on the trail here. As you can see, I am at what is referred to as Harvey Falls, and just off the trail here you can see this granite facey with water steadily dripping down it. Doesn't seem to have a rushing fall going over it at the moment, but based on the waterway here, it looks like it does get that at times, and maybe after the effects of today's rain make their way into the waterways, this will be a little bit more dramatic. I won't say impressive, because you know, it's impressive all on its own. It's just a matter of adding a little bit more dynamic action to it. Nice to stop and take a look at the sights along the way. But for now, back to the trail. Making my way down to Licklog Falls, so we'll see what this little spot has to offer us in way of views and experience. And here, there off to my left, let's see if we can get a little bit more unrestricted view. Nice rock here. I'm not sure I'll climb that because it's kind of slick looking. As you can see there, a nice rush of water coming off the rocks. Now that's a falls. Continuing my hike after stopping for lunch at the Lick Log campsite. I've got just over 7.5 miles to go till I get to my camp spot, or intended camp spot for tonight. We'll see how things go this afternoon, and we'll check in along the way. I'm continuing on my hike into the afternoon. Temperatures are warm, but not oppressively so. Still very muggy and humid. The sky seems to have cleared a bit, and the rain has passed on by. I can't get a good signal to check weather to see if there's more later on today or not, but hopefully what we had this morning was it for today. Progress on my trek is going well. I think I've probably got somewhere under 6 miles left to go for the day to my campsite. It is just after 2 o'clock, so 6 miles. If I can get that done in 3 hours, which should be reasonable, then I'll be getting into camp around 5ish, which is just about perfect. Gives me plenty of time to set up in the daylight and relax, fix my dinner, and just sort of take it easy and prepare for what lies ahead tomorrow. Well, here's the first semi-clear view of the river that I have had the sounds of which accompanying me on my hike for a short while now. I'm anticipating that the trail does get a little bit closer and I'll probably get some better views, but just thought I'd share my first experience with the river, and we'll see what lies on ahead. But not going to see it if I don't walk there. Well, continuing on, getting a little closer to the river, and the views are getting better, as you can see here. And faintly through the trees I see looks like another tumble over some rocks, and then a nice wide calm area. So we'll see if the trail dips down near that any at all. But yeah, temperatures are creeping up there, and the mugginess is becoming a serious factor. One disadvantage of glasses, I can't see half the time because they're all fogged up, and I don't have anything dry to wipe them off with. So the struggle is real. Well, continuing on, I've still got about 3.5 miles to go to get to camp, and it is warm out here. Fortunately, I have crested over the last peak of the day, and so I've got a steady descent now, and then relatively level with minor ups and downs to get the last stretch into camp. So hopefully I can get these last 3.5 miles done in short time, and we'll see what lies along the way between here and there. But just thought I'd check in and let you know how I'm doing. the challenges we face. I didn't know if I had to go up that rock scramble or down this overgrown path. But then I looked way up there and I saw a white blaze. So, rock scramble it is. Wish me luck. I'm here in the river for a ways while I've gone up and down the path. Haven't really gotten any good views. The trees have been pretty thick. This is about the best I've seen so far. You got a nice view of what's way out up ahead, and then here ahead of us, or right adjacent to us, the various areas where the water's tumbling over the rocks. I don't know how much you guys can see through the trees, but yeah, the view from above here is pretty nice. Kind of wish I was down there though. I could use a dip of the feet in the water to cool them off a little. We'll see what's up ahead. Trail has finally brought me down to the river. And it's a nice even flow here with some mild rock flows scattered about. If I had the time, it'd be a nice place to just hang out for a while. But I got 2 miles to go and a campsite to set up. So, take the memory and moving on. Well, hello. I've got just under a mile left to get to the campsite, and I will say I didn't hit my time target. One thing I'm having to become very aware of is that on a hike like this I can't maintain anywhere near the pace that I'm used to on the day hikes that I've done. I'm doing about a 45 minute mile at stretches, not consistently, but I think I'm averaging probably somewhere between 35 and 40 minute miles across the day. So the heat and terrain have beaten on me today, and I know that I've got 4 days coming up ahead of me that are going to be every bit as hard, if not harder, because I'm doing even longer distances. So we'll see how things go. It's been a very isolated day because I have not seen a single soul out here. The couple that was at the campsite with me last night, they had actually broken camp and headed out before I left my tent, so didn't even see them. So I don't know if there'll be anyone at this campsite. There's I understand it's a popular one. I think there's road access to it, and there's a number of campsites. So we'll see if anyone's there. If not, this will be been a day with pretty much zero human contact. Not something you get every day. But I've had you, and thanks for coming along with me. We will see you on the trail tomorrow.